Hi guys, so recently I just uploaded a reel on my Instagram page, and the kind of views I got from that are insane. So many of you DM'd to be asking me my journey, how I went from a BCom, from an average college to a Big 4 in a proper hardcore valuations job, and I'll break it down to you in this video because it's practically impossible for me to be answering all those DMs. I've written all the points down and I'm gonna go point by point so that it's easier for all of us to understand. So, first, I'll be starting with how did I go from a BCom to a Big 4? That's my journey. So, I was from an average school and an average college. It was Ramlal Anand from Delhi University, and I did my BCom, which was from 2019 to 2022, and it was a COVID year, so our placements and everything was even worse at that time. Uh, no support from college for placements, such, so we had to find it ourselves. So, but the thing that I did differently was, so all the people were actually just doing their BCom and like chilling around and all of that, but I made sure that I was doing some certifications, courses, trying to upgrade and upskill myself as I go along, because I don't know, I just had the feeling that with a plain BCom degree, nothing really could happen and no job would be taking me because we were not studying at that time either. So, why would somebody, take us? So, I did a lot of courses, which included one big certification, which was of FMVA. So that stands for Financial Modeling Valuation Analyst. It is from a accredited body from the US, which is known as CFI. So that was about, I think, $800 ka pura course, and I did that. It took me about 6 months to do it. That was a good step into my finance journey because so the thing is, even in school when you take commerce, there is no as such like specification that this is commerce and this is accounts. So I was not an accountancy person. I did not like it, but finance and math and practical side of it, yes, I loved it. So that's why I thought that I'll take that course and I'll figure out if I like finance. And turned out I did. I made really proper notes about the course, and I did the course really nicely. You had to give an exam. I did not pass in the first go. I like failed from one question, so I gave it again and then I passed. So yeah, so that was a FMVA certification. So I knew a little bit about valuations from that certification. It teaches you all three approaches of valuations. I'm not going to be talking about mergers and acquisitions and valuations here because then the video will go too long. But yeah, so that teaches, and apart from that, I did a lot of small courses which actually enhanced my skills, like Excel, like I also learned Alteryx and Power BI, because earlier I really wanted to go into data analyst, but that didn't happen. That was my journey, and now I've been working in a Big 4 for like almost 4 years in valuations, and yeah, so that's why. So I'm no professional to tell you this is what works and this doesn't, but this is what worked for me, so I'm just putting it out there for you, all of you, whoever are in the struggling journey, because I know how it feels. It took me 6 months to find this job, and so I know mistakes that college students make. So the thing is, so many people actually pay no attention to actually developing their skills or even going the extra mile to trying to figure out what they really want to do in life, and if they want a job, then what kind of a job. Because honestly, big BCom is like, you can go anywhere from that. You can go into marketing, you can go into finance, you can go into HR, anything works. So uh, what actually makes you stand apart from the crowd is that you do skills and you make work on projects. So the thing is that you'll be facing, and if you might are not facing right now, then you will be facing, is that all the employers are going to ask for a work experience, and you don't have a work experience because this will be your first job. So even in interviews, they're going to ask you if you have any work experience. Even if you are a fresher, even then they would be asking you that. So what I did in that case is I built projects. I worked on a lot of projects which were related to finance, M&A, valuations, all of that, which kind of really helped me. I leveraged those projects to be talking in the interview, which is a very crazy strategy, because if you work on some good projects, you can actually talk about it in the interview, and if you on it properly, then you have a very good idea of what you did, so you can talk about it. So it goes like a win-win situation. The interview thinks, okay, you know it, and you already know it because you worked on it. So taking up projects if you don't have any experience is so important. Okay, so a couple of projects could be that you can analyze mergers and acquisition transaction that has recently happened, maybe like Zomato, Blinkit, or any recent transactions which has happened. You can analyze that. You can analyze why. There's plenty data on internet for you to understand. So this was one question that was asked in my interview, if I have seen any like tracked any transactions in the market. And I talked about Facebook and WhatsApp acquisition. And the thing is, I did not research about it properly, so I couldn't go through the answer very nicely. But I that's a good tip. So you guys need to know what's happening in the market, and just one. You should just have tracked one deal good well enough so that you can talk about it. Okay. Another thing is, so many people just want to get into finance because they think there's money in it. But I really urge you to think about it before you get into this, because and your college is the perfect time to figure out if you like finance or not. Take up internships, take up projects. There are so many projects everywhere which you can take up and try to figure out if you really like it or not. And just don't go blindly for certifications. They don't help. Only the skills that you've learned that you can talk about in the interview or like in the case study round, only those will help. So next is skills. So a couple of skills that will really help you if you're looking for a finance specific role in a Big 4. First thing I always tell is that you need to be very proficient in Excel, because in any case study round or in anything, they're going to ask you to do Excel, and you really need to know that. And I think now there's like accounting basics. If you're coming from a commerce background, you will probably be knowing all of them, but if you're not, then you have to. Then it's financial modeling, and another new thing that has come up is basically how to use AI in finance. So basically, in mergers and acquisitions and valuations, a lot of the work for an analyst is based on a research. So earlier we used to rely on a lot of databases. Now we also rely on AI for the data, for the research. So you can actually make a couple of prompts for comparable company analysis or transactions analysis, and you can talk about it in the interview. But you need to talk about it such that it's actually helping you and you're not relying on it, because why would they take you then? Is now the fourth part is certification. So FMVA, should you pursue it or not? There are plenty other financial modeling courses at this point, and if you're actually wanting to pursue it only to get a job, then no course is going to get you a job. No employer is seeing any certification as a proof for any fresher, because most of your learning will be on the job. So don't go after fancy certifications. I did FMVA. What it really helped me with was that it provided me access to a lot of databases like CapIQ and Bloomberg, so which kind of helped me understand and make my things more stronger. I could talk about it in the interview, but when it comes to actually learning financial modeling, I think you can do it. There's plenty resources. I will link a few if you want. So you can do it. Just don't do it for the job. And the last part of the video is projects and internships. So yeah, projects, like I even told in the earlier part of the video, you don't have work experience and they will be wanting to see something in you in order to hire you. So the best situation in this case is to be working on projects. um, you can create projects, you can pick up some courses which includes some project at the end. So just for a heads up, if you guys are really looking for projects, or in general a summary of all of this what I've told, I have created an ebook which encompasses everything from my journey to the skills that you should be learning to the projects, and how to do that projects and how to leverage that in the interview. And further, I have talked about interview tips. Wait, I'll just show you. This is my ebook. It talks about so many things: journey from BCom to Big 4 to valuations, then what is valuations, and skills, basically skills, and some free resource links. Then I have some my honest opinions on certifications, and then I have some projects. So this is project, how to do it, and how do you leverage that in the interview, how do you come up with the project yourself in the interview so that the interview goes around it. Then you have some interview tips, and there's some interview prep questions. And then you have where do you start if you're in college, in your final year of college, or if you're out of college already, how do you apply for jobs. And I've also included a LinkedIn template which you can pitch to people for referrals. And yep, this is a little advice page from my side to you guys. If you guys are interested, I have only kept it for 49 rupees to make it accessible to each one of you, and also to have some motivation for me to know, because if I would have kept it free, I think all of you would have downloaded it and it wouldn't have made any difference to any of you. So yeah, that's my journey. I hope this video helped you, and you can always reach out to me on my Instagram or here. I'll be happy to help. Yep. So there's still so many things I'm yet to talk about, but I could not because of this video will go too long. So we just come again. Thank you.